Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Metal Gear Solid 5 S-Rank video walkthrough. This is episode 1, Phantom Limbs, and we are finally in control of Snake. Or Big Boss, sorry. Although he is Punished Venom Snake, which is the worst name of the entire series. Like, I didn't much care for Old Snake, but it made sense. Naked Snake, at first I was, reticent to it, but then I was like, it's kind of cool. It's not, don't think of it as sexuality, just think of it as a cool word. Naked is a pretty cool word if you just look at it. So I got with that, and then obviously Solid Snake, Solid Snake, Liquid Snake, whatever you want. Punished Venom Snake? Like, where does this one even come from? Oh, but this is the game, guys, and this is the departure from Metal Gear, so on this very first mission, we are tasked with rescuing Benedict Kazuhira Miller. Master Miller, or Master Miller's son, I'm not entirely sure about the canonical people. I assume it's Master Miller. He was in Peace Walker, and he's been captured, so we're about to take him away. At the beginning, Ocelot wants you to do some recon on a village that's in front of you, and you can go into it, you can take out some guards, you can check for some supplies, you can find some blueprints or whatever. You can even explore should you choose to, but I'm not going to do that, guys. I'm going to be going for S-ranks here, which means I'm going to be taking pretty much a no-nonsense approach towards getting to my goal, which will mean I'm not going to be Fultoning people, I'm not going to be picking up resources or exploring, I'm not going to be doing any of the extra great things that you can do in this game that are incredibly useful and you should be doing, because I'm focusing on just giving you a concise path to victory. And what this is going to do is hopefully it's going to give you a nice encyclopedia of S-rank missions to help you should you want to get any of those bonuses for doing that, or the achievements and trophies for doing that. But it's also going to make this guide more difficult, because this game is 100% motivated by the mother base, and by not Fultoning people, and by not getting those resources, and by not developing things, I'm going to be severely gimped for a lot of this playthrough, and I have no idea how I'm going to make it work. For instance, the next mission that I have to record that I'm going to do after this session involves taking out 3 armoured vehicles, and I cannot cargo Fulton, I don't have anything but C4, I don't have a rocket launcher, and it's this moment where it's like, these missions could be really, really difficult, because all the super awesome, effective ways of getting rid of them that I was doing on my other playthrough, I can't do. So I'm either going to have to get really creative, or I'm going to have to do some serious legwork off camera. But one of the best things about this game is you get to choose how you do almost all of it, and it is an incredibly free and dynamic system that some people are going to fall in love with, and some people are going to not like as much. The first thing that you have a choice over that is incredibly important is night or day infiltrations. I would always recommend coming in at night. However, for the purposes of this guide, and just because I kind of like it, I'm always going to pick ASAP when I infiltrate anything. So if it's daytime, I'm going to go with it. If it's nighttime, I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to try and figure it out that way. If you want to change whatever time of day it is, use your Phantom Cigar. The cover of night gives you a passive bonus to camouflage. It also changes the deployment of the troops, and just in general, the soldiers that are guarding will be a little bit more lenient during nighttime infiltrations. They will also probably be sparser, some of them might even be sleeping. It's generally a bit more of a lax security detail. But there's something you need to know, guys. The progressive difficulty of this game, and in its dynamics, it will adjust the game depending on how you're playing it. So if you're favouring night infiltrations, and that's all you do, then the enemies are going to start showing up with night vision goggles. They're going to start having equipment that help them stop you at night time, and they might even have, a greater amount of people on guard, things of that nature. However you choose to play this game, the game is going to adjust to make that method less effective. So you can either change how you do it, or you can, continue and just bolster the walls, get better. Another thing, if you're infiltrating places without being spotted, then they'll get cameras, they'll get better technologies, they'll lay mines in areas that look like people have come through, so favourable infiltration routes. And the game works like that. If you shoot people in the head with tranquilizer darts, they'll start getting helmets. If you start killing people and going on a frenzy, I think it updates with body armour, with better weapons like shotguns and assault weapons. all kinds of crazy stuff, extra vehicles. There is a lot of progressive difficulty happening here, and there are a couple of ways that you can deal with it, which I'm going to explain now as I crouch walk with Miller. Something to know on this game: whenever you're in doubt of making noise or being seen, lay down. Prone is your best bet. If you're in shadow, you will get a passive prone benefit, I think of +10. If you're in grass or any kind of foliage, you will get an additional bonus. If you are not moving, you will get a prone bonus. So there are so many ways to boost your camouflage detail, and the thing you really need to know is if you stand up and sprint, you are -60. And on this game, where the enemies have pretty good vision, pretty good hearing, and considering there's no difficulty, they're always at a measure of alertness that is harder than normal of the last games. You want to be super careful with how you choose to do it. That being said, you can do it and you can get creative, so sometimes just try the craziest thing in the world and it just might pay off, as I bring Miller back over here to the horse. But ways to combat the adaptive difficulty will involve the deployment of your combat teams with the mother base. You will have missions where you can sabotage trade routes, which will affect if they can get helmets, and if they can get armor, if they can get mines to put down, if they can get cameras. And what it will do is, once those missions are successful, it will affect the next 3 missions that you partake. And then after that it'll go back to normal. So you can use your soldiers in mother base to mitigate the areas of difficulty you're having issue with. An extra thing that the guide actually says is if you use the chicken hat, or whatever it's called, I've never used it, it's this thing that the game asks you if you want, if you fuck up too much. And then if you abort mission while wearing it, it will reduce the level of difficulty in those modifiers. I tried it myself, but I think there's a limit on how many times you can do it, so I couldn't get it to do it again. I think you might have to complete some more missions. So if I had to guess, abort with the chicken hat, complete maybe 2 or 3 missions that are really short, quickly, reruns of whichever one you prefer, get some money, whatever, then try it again and it might work. So I think there's a cooldown on it, but I'm not entirely sure. That being said, I'm not going to be doing it in this walkthrough because I don't think there's any need to. At this moment in time, a lot of the walkthroughs that are going up, for S ranks in particular, all have it on New Game Plus, where you have all your gear and they're doing all the super really good strats because they've got all the fantastic equipment. This ain't that, folks. This is hopefully going to help people who are just playing the game on their first run if they're struggling, and also for the people coming back for rank. And right now we're coming up against the Skulls. This is the parasitic unit, and I think the AI of this creature is fluent bullshit. So you'll notice I tagged them at the beginning. They know where you are. There's no stealth with this creature. It knows where you are, and it's going to come to you regardless. So you'll notice, depending on where I move this horse will depend on whether these skulls take the bridge, or if they come down this little valley avenue that I'm on at the moment. So I'm going to wait out of their eyesight at this side path of this area until both of these skulls start walking down this little angled descent. Once you do that, you're good. You can then go behind me up onto the bridge and go across the bridge. However, if you adjust your position as they move towards you, because they do this incredibly slowly, they will adjust with you and they'll go on the high road, and then the people to the left will come under the bridge and you'll have a lot of trouble getting past them. If there's a better way of doing this, which I'm almost certain there probably is, I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm looking forward to making a quicker strategy for this. Because this is a great strat, but it takes a while for it to work, because you have to wait for that guy at the back to commit to coming down here. And as soon as he does, you just make your way up the other side. If you don't want to do this, you can sprint past them, trigger the cutscene that makes them aggressive, and then you can get introduced to the concept of, holy shit, these things are fast. When they chased me the first time I ran across this bridge, it was a pretty amazing moment. And that's what this game is, guys. It is a game that affords these moments that everybody's going to have, these emergent gameplay sequences, which will be different for most people. Some will share, similar traits, but for the most, they are exclusive to what you do. And some of them can be truly wonderful and amazing. And that was one of them, because they bounce in front of you, pretty much. Imagine Dragon Ball Z, when they move super fast and they bounce between rocks and it's just like a blur of lines as they're bouncing everywhere and they're making the noises? That's what they do, and it looks really, really cool. They have the ability to turn their arm into a gun and shoot at you with something that looks a little bit like the Patriot without the barrel drum. The drum magazine, sorry. I don't know why I said barrel drum, that didn't make any sense. They also have the ability to attack you with a sword, do a jump attack which you can counter with CQC. Some of them, that are the mist equivalent, have the ability to blanket the entire area with fog. Another one is an armoured equivalent. He has the ability to take an obscene amount of damage and fire this crazy rock stuff at you, like stalagmite type things. And then the third variant is a female sniper one, which you're not going to see for quite some time. However, she's probably the easiest one, even though they do come in a group. But you'll notice that I'm hiding on the side of the horse. When you do that, it lowers your profile. It's a stance change which will enable you to stealth, but you can't accelerate the horse, which is kind of frustrating. To change sides, if you push the right analog, you will flop between what side you do cover on. Whenever you go past a guard post, you want to do that just in case, because there's nothing worse than, setting off an alarm when you're going towards a chopper. Which, you're going to spend a lot of time in this game, guys, going towards choppers or running towards the areas where the mission ends, and then you have to call the chopper to go anywhere else. And I personally think it's a terrible choice. I have no idea the obsession with this constant requesting for exvac and then getting in exvac and how long it takes the chopper to bring you in, how long it takes the chopper to bring you out. You'll notice I'm taking that away, guys, because I'm not going to make you suffer through that bullshit. You're going to do enough of it when you play this game. But something that's important there, I got the No Traces bonus, which is the best bonus you can get. It means that you pretty much did nothing. Like, no kills, no CQC, you didn't fire your gun, you were never spotted, you never used your buddy to do anything for you, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to go into some detail further on and give you the full breakdown, but essentially No Trace bonus is probably the Foxhound equivalent or big boss rank of this game, because certain levels I have no idea how you can even do that on, because you have to detonate C4 and blow things up, and then that voids that rank. So I'm really curious to see if you can do that on those missions, and I'm probably going to bring a lot of videos of that later on if I continue to play this game. But thank you for watching, guys, and you take care now.